Good day, Baseball Card Collecting Nation. This is Chris from Big 3 PC, and today I will explain the approach that I use when deciding whether to invest in boxes of certain sets. As always, you can reach me on YouTube, Insta, Twitter, Facebook, and you can always reach me by email. Okay, so let's get into this. A couple of quick things. First, why do we invest in boxes? Why do we open boxes? I mean, for me, it's pretty straightforward. There's two main reasons. One, it's super fun to rip opens and boxes. And two, it's a chance for me to kind of live out a childhood dream that I always had. I could never afford these things when I was a kid. You know, I was going to the store and I was the kid buying the 50-cent Pro Set packs and getting just crap. But now, I don't have to do that. I can buy some of these boxes, rip in, and have a great time. And, you know, for people like me and probably a lot of you, ripping into a hobby box or a jumbo box, it's the one chance we get to acquire something truly rare, something like a superfractor, for example, something that would be way too expensive for us to justify buying as a one-off. Now, with all that said, we have to remember and remind ourselves that opening boxes, opening packs, is gambling. We've talked about that before, and we know it's a very inefficient way to build a PC. So we got to remember that this is about fun first and foremost. The question we address today is, can we have our fun and get some value too, or at least try to limit the damage when it comes to opening or investing in boxes? And I absolutely say yes. So let's see why. First, a few disclaimers. My approach definitely might not be for everyone, so I just want to lay it out real clear. Number one, I'm primarily a collector. Remember, not a primary flipper, not a primary prospector. Dabble in both of those avenues, but I'm mostly looking to build a sweet personal collection. And specifically, I'm looking to collect Bowman prospect cards, so Bowman firsts, and Flagship Topps rookie cards. So these are the products that I'm going to focus on in this video. Number two, I like opening boxes, so really, I'm looking for any reason to rip into a box. And what we're going to do today is try to justify when you can rip into a box and be fairly guilt-free about it. Number three, I treat boxes as investments. So in addition to loving opening them, I also think that there's a lot of them that show over time that they appreciate very predictably. And I'm totally fine with a chunk of my capital being tied up for a couple of years in order to achieve a predictable and solid return on investment. Number four, we've talked about this maybe in the past videos, maybe not actually, but buying single cards off of eBay is very expensive for Canadians, unless you're buying from other Canadians. But there's not nearly as many cards for sale from Canada, ebay.ca, as there is on ebay.com from Americans. So why is it expensive to buy single cards off of eBay as a Canadian? Well, basically, if you're buying from the States, you're going to get nailed with international shipping, you're going to get nailed with currency exchange, and you're probably going to get, or you will potentially be nailed with import charges. And all of these things add a lot to the price of the card you're buying, especially if you're just buying fairly cheap cards under $100. You know, if you're buying from the States, you might be adding, you know, $20 in terms of shipping or import to that card. You're adding 20%. Boxes, on the other hand, they're often in Canada, they're on sale, or they're priced favorably pre-sale compared to the same boxes being sold in the United States. So I'll give you some examples of what I mean by that. If we go to Steel City Collectibles, which is a site that I go to from time to buy some stuff out of the United States, let's look at the upcoming Bowman Draft release, which is coming out in December. Pre-sale for a super jumbo box, $335 US. Let's go down the 401 here, Canada, 401 Games, located in Toronto and Vaughan, downtown Toronto and Vaughan. Same product, Bowman Draft Super Jumbo Box, 350 Canadian. So if you were to convert that 335 USD price tag for the box available at Steel City to Canadian dollars, it's 450 Canadian dollars based on today's currency conversion. And yet, you can get the box for $350 plus tax in Canada in Canadian dollars. Another example of this, if you go back to Steel City and you look at a recent release, so 2019 Topps Series 2 hobby box. They're selling right now for $95 US plus tax. Not on sale, but if you go to 401 Games Canada and you look at their 2019 Topps Series 2 hobby boxes, they're on sale for 85 Canadian. They're cheaper in Canadian dollars than they are in American dollars in the US. There's reasons for this, but essentially what I'm finding is that unlike almost every other product in Canada, the boxes that are sold of cards in Canada seem to sell for almost the same price as they do in US dollars in America. You don't get that currency markup. So there's almost like an arbitrage opportunity here. In addition to that, I've been finding that a lot of the boxes tend to go on sale within a few months of release, in Canada anyways, as the local card stores look to just clear inventory. I don't think baseball cards are quite as popular in Canada as they are in America. So you can get these terrific sales like this awesome 2019 Topps Series 2 box just a few months after release, and I just don't think you're going to see that in the US. So, long story short, you're not going to see this situation with individual cards. Their value is based on what they sell for in US dollars on eBay, and if you look to buy them in Canada, you're going to be paying whatever they sold for in USD converted to Canadian dollars. It's going to be more expensive. But these boxes, it doesn't seem to be that way, and that's why I choose to open and invest in boxes as a Canadian. We'll go back to the PowerPoint presentation here. The final disclaimer before we really get into this. We've said it before, we're going to say it again. The most important piece of advice I'm going to give you over and over and over is buy the card you want. What I'm talking about today in terms of how to select boxes to open and invest in, this is merely a tool for those of you who love to rip boxes, just to make sure that you're at least gambling on products with a solid floor of value, and to help folks know how to maximize the value of these boxes should you decide to invest. So we'll move along. So let's keep in mind that what I'm discussing here is primarily the stuff that I like to open and invest in, which is Bowman Chrome, Bowman Draft, products that have the Bowman first cards in them, prospect cards. And we're also going to talk about Flagship Topps, Series 1, Series 2, and Update. So when I think about those products and the boxes you can buy of them, I break them down into two general classifications. There's the super risky types, which I will call casino boxes. And then there's the less risky types, which I will call the checklist is king boxes. And we'll get into that. So what is a casino box? To me, that is a really risky box to open, just like going to your casino floor. So the riskiest box by far are called HTA boxes. Now you can get an HTA box for tons of the different sets that are out there and products that are out there. I'm specifically going to talk about Bowman Chrome, Bowman Draft, but an HTA box, regardless of the product, is a product that only contains a few cards. It could be one card, it could be 2 or 3 cards, and they're specifically autographed cards. These boxes, despite only having 1 or 2 or 3 cards in them, can cost many hundreds of dollars. There's basically no floor in terms of value to these things, since you could literally pull 1, 2, or 3, or all 3 cards out of there that are worth about $1. That could literally happen. So they're risky. Also, in my opinion, they're not that fun. 1 pack, 1 card, maybe 2 cards, maybe 3 cards. You don't get the same enjoyment out of that as you do a good thorough rip session for the bigger boxes that contain a lot of base and other stuff, parallels. That's my opinion. What's good about HTAs though? There's actually a lot of good stuff about them. On the positive side, this represents your lowest cost per autograph of all the boxes. Proof? I'll give you some proof. So, if you look at the most recent release of Bowman Chrome, and you went online to Steel City, you would have seen that a 3 autograph containing HTA box was on sale for about $185 US, which breaks down to $62 roughly per auto. Another Bowman Chrome product, the Hobby Box, was for sale at the same time for about $160. That product contained 2 autographs plus a bunch of base cards. So if you break it down on a per auto basis, $80 per auto. So much cheaper price per auto in HTAs. Additionally, another really positive thing about HTAs is they usually, the HTA product specifically, usually have some extra short print parallel autographs that are specific to the HTA product. What I mean by that is there will be some to 150, to 99, to 50, to 25, to 5, to 1 special autos, parallel autos, that you will only find in the HTA product itself. So there's a higher chance when opening an HTA of finding a rarer autograph than with the other products. I don't know how much higher of a chance, but it is a higher chance. So there's no denying that HTAs offer the biggest hit potential, in my opinion. And the last thing I'll mention on the positive side for HTAs is their boxes, especially for premium products like Bowman Chrome, Bowman Draft, they do tend to appreciate well over time. So if you want to buy HTAs and hold them and then sell them sealed down the road, this is a much less risky way to invest in a fairly risky box. Now, the verdict for me, HTAs, they're not for me. And that's just because of the risk involved in opening them. I much prefer to gamble on boxes with a higher floor value. And when it comes to autograph cards specifically, since they are a larger investment, I usually just tend to buy the ones I want, although I do make an exception for buying into and opening some Bowman Chrome and Bowman Draft Jumbo and Super Jumbos, which we're going to transition to. But with that said, HTAs have their pluses, I should say, and they're great for folks who only want autos and want to gamble hard on getting a huge hit. Less risky casino boxes. Now we're talking about Jumbo and Super Jumbo Bowman Chrome, Bowman Draft boxes. So, like HTAs, you are paying up for the guaranteed autos that come in these boxes. You get 3 guaranteed autos in a Jumbo, you'll get 5 guaranteed autos in a Super Jumbo, and you pay a premium because of that. Unlike HTA boxes though, Jumbo and Super Jumbo boxes contain big autograph hits, plus a variety of base card parallel hits, so you have many more hits with which to try to recoup the cost of your box. In premium offerings like Bowman Chrome and Bowman Draft, the base parallels are some of the most sought after cards in the entire industry. We're talking about Bowman Chrome firsts here, even without an autograph on them. If you get a Bowman Chrome first of a big prospect, and it's like a to 99 or 50 type parallel, that's a very sought after card, a very valuable card. Hundreds of dollars, even thousands of dollars, depending on the player. So, a little bit less risky opening a Jumbo or a Super Jumbo because you got a bunch of different ways to recoup your value spread over a bunch of different cards, not just 1, 2, or 3. Now, similar to HTAs, Jumbo and Super Jumbos, these boxes do tend to appreciate over time. And what do I mean by that? It's not uncommon for these to appreciate 15 to 20% within the first week or 2 of release, or certainly within the first year. And some sell for like 100% return on investment within a year or two's time frame. Now, obviously the performance of the players in the set is going to dictate the return on investment, but these are highly sought after boxes. So buying them up pre-sale before you even see a checklist and keeping them as an investment to sell later, it's a pretty good strategy in my opinion. And again, since these boxes contain hundreds of cards with lots of hits, these are really fun boxes to open, especially compared to the HTA. Now, what's the bad? They're still risky. So the majority of the value in these boxes comes from 10 to 15, roughly, autograph and parallel cards that each one contains. You can still get the wrong players in your hits and lose pretty much all of your investment the moment you open that box. The base cards included in these boxes, they're not very valuable. Even the base rookie cards that come out of them. It's really just the Bowman Chrome first that matter in this product. For example, the base rookie card for Ronald Acuna Jr. last year that came out of Bowman Chrome, right now selling for about $45 Canadian in a PSA 10 form. His Flagship Topps update PSA 10 rookie card is selling for double that. It's like $90, give or take. So you're not going to get much value out of the base rookies included in this product. It's all about the hits you get in terms of autos and parallels for Bowman Chrome firsts. If you get the wrong players, no names, guys who never do well in the minors, never make it to the bigs, you're getting bupkis from these boxes. So really, the main difference in terms of risks between HTAs and jumbo super jumbos is that you're spreading your investment out to roughly 10 or 15 hits rather than the 1 to 3 hits you get from an HTA. So you got more chances to recoup some of your investment. Finally, should mention that because these are such highly sought after products, you really need to buy these things up pre-sale without seeing a checklist in order to get the best prices. They don't sell out, they're still available after their release, but the prices are almost always higher at the local card shop or online distributors. So to get the best price, you got to buy pre-sale. Now, this kind of adds to the risk of these investments because you don't know what's going to be in them until after you've laid down your money for the pre-sale. But the reality is, when we're talking about prospect cards, it's going to take years before we know if the players included in each of these sets has true value or not. So finding out the checklist just before release, it doesn't really matter that much because it doesn't tell us a whole lot. To me, the verdict, these are great products to invest in pre-sale. If you're going to rip them though, you got to know that timing is really important if you're trying to maximize your return on investment. So in order to make bank on a Bowman Chrome, Bowman Draft, jumbo or super jumbo box, you're probably going to need to use one of 3 strategies in order to do so. Number 1, you can invest in the boxes and sell them sealed within 1 to 2 years. And why do I say 1 to 2 years? You can hold them for longer. There's lots for sale that are older than that. For me though, 1 to 2 years is the sweet spot. 1, it limits the amount of time your capital is tied up to 1 to 2 years so that you can use it for other things. And 2, something you should know about these boxes is that some of the hits exist in redemption card format, which means you'll get a card in the pack that you have to give to Topps or go online and enter the code in to Topps, and they will send you the actual hit, the autograph, the parallel, for example. These redemptions have an expiry date on them, so usually it's 2 years from release. So in my mind, once you hit the 2-year mark with these boxes, they're worth a little bit less because one of the big hits in the box could very well end up being a redemption. The next 2 strategies have to do with the fact that Bowman prospect cards tend to peak in value at a couple of different distinct times. First, they spike immediately after the products are released because of demand. People want to get their team's prospects, their favorite prospect players right on release. And as a result, card prices are high the first week or 2 after these products hit market. Then they peter off a bit. You think about when these things are released, September for Bowman Chrome, December for Bowman Draft, there's not much baseball going on, really no baseball going on for the prospects other than maybe the Arizona Fall League after the September release of Bowman Chrome. So it's a big lull before they get a chance to do anything to justify their draft stock and to enhance their card's value. So other than that bump they get on release, these cards kind of just then can decrease a little bit in value for a long time. It could be just months, could be even a year or 2. So after that, you got to wait. Players who do well in the minors in the next years, in the next couple of years, who rise quickly, those cards will rise exponentially, way past the initial release prices. So those are the ones that are best held on to. Long story short, if you're opening these boxes, you either gotta open and sell immediately after the release occurs, hit that spike, or open these boxes and know that you're holding these cards for a long time, year or 2, before they're gonna truly start to show you what they're worth and you can maximize value. Will translate into the checklist is king boxes, okay? So this is completely different. On the other hand, here we're talking about hobby and jumbo boxes that derive the majority of their value from their base rookie cards and the parallels of their base rookie cards. These are not products that are deriving the majority of their value from autographs. This means that you're very likely to get the cards that matter in this set in these boxes, in each of these boxes, because it's the base cards, the base rookie cards that matter and bring home value to these products. This is in stark opposition to the Bowman Chrome and Bowman Draft products, which can be very much hit or miss whether you'll get any of the important Bowman Chrome first cards in any given jumbo, super jumbo, or HTA. So for examples of checklist is king boxes, let me direct you to Flagship Topps. That's Series 1, Series 2, and Topps Update. These are the sets that provide us with the base rookie cards that are typically the most desirable in the industry. There's tons of rookie cards out there for every player, but the ones that typically have the most value, as mentioned just a few minutes ago, are the ones in these sets when I compared the Ronald Acuna Topps Update rookie to the Bowman Chrome rookie card. Big difference. The really nice thing about checklist is king boxes, so hobbies and jumbos for Flagship Topps, is that they're much cheaper when compared to Bowman Chrome, Bowman Draft. They don't sell out pre-sale. And this gives you the opportunity to analyze their checklist before investing. So you can check, you can see, is this year's Series 1 going to have a lot of big-time rookie cards in it? If so, great, let's invest. If not, let's just skip the set altogether or use a strategy that we'll discuss in a minute or two. Not only do you not need to buy pre-sale, but Series 1 and Series 2 boxes, they can often be found on sale a few months after release, even a year or two down the road at your LCS. This might just be a Canadian phenomenon, but I have found they're always trying to clear their inventory after a few months. That's when the best sales can be found. And as far as Topps Update, it's a bit of a shorter print run. There's a little bit more demand for these boxes, so it's not as if they sell out before release, but typically their boxes don't go on sale after release. So if you're looking for the best price for Topps Update boxes, you do kind of got to buy those pre-sale. However, I will note that it's not uncommon for retail products of Topps Update, like hangers or blasters, to show up on discount racks at Walmart a couple months or even a year down the road after their release. So really, there's no huge rush to buy Topps Series 1, 2, or Update pre-sale. Give you an example, one recent example for me was 2019 Topps Series 2, come out usually around $95 pre-sale. I bought one a month ago, so 2 months after release, for $79, and that included tax and shipping. So a huge sale for what I think is a set that's just loaded with rookie cards that are great. So in my opinion, these are the least risky, highest floor boxes to invest in. And despite the fact that they have the highest floor and they're the least risky, they still have huge hit potential, because if you find a big time rookie card in parallel form, that's a major score. Okay, an example, Ronald Acuna's gold rookie card last year in Update was selling for $1,000 Canadian in PSA 10 form. Juan Soto's is approaching that now. And that's not even the super rare parallels. Imagine if you hit one of the shorter print parallels. It's unlikely, but they're there. These huge hits are in these boxes. So let's examine the first two Topps flagship releases of 2019 and see how big of a difference a checklist can make in terms of a set's value. Let's really drive this part home by examining these two. First, you might ask, how do I find a checklist? And that's really, really easy. If you just go to your favorite search engine, whatever that might be, type in the set you're looking for. So let's start with Topps Series 1, 2019. One of the first hits that's going to come up always is Cardboard Connection. So we're going to go here. This is a very invaluable website. They give you all the information you're ever going to want to know about these cards in these sets. And if you scroll, eventually you will find your way down to the checklist, which is all the cards included in the base set. So here it is. One thing you'll notice is that they actually point out for you what the rookie cards in the set are by denoting them with RC. So you can see there's a Steven Duggar. So this makes it really easy to know what is in a set before you buy it. So I've done the hard work for us here, and I've put together a list of the best rookies in 2019 Topps Series 1. And here they are. Now this is just my opinion, but we got Michael Kopech, Kyle Tucker, Jeff McNeil, Danny Jansen, and Brandon Lowe. A little bit about these guys. Kopech is a 22-year-old high upside pitcher who's only thrown 14 innings in the majors. The only maybe concerning thing about him is his walk to innings pitched ratio in the minors is not very good. So this is not a glit-edged prospect, in my opinion, at this point in time. Kyle Tucker, maybe the highest upside name on here, 22-year-old, just came up for the Stros this year. So only got a limited experience or limited at-bats, but he had solid metrics in the minors. On the downside, he's a first baseman / left fielder, not much defensive value there. But he's a guy who could hit well, and you could see some value down the road, but really not right now. Jeff McNeil just came off a 5-WAR season, but he's 27-year-old. He's a 27-year-old with just his rookie card coming out. And he doesn't hit for big power at all. So not a guy with huge upside in terms of rookie card values. Danny Jansen, 24, just coming off kind of a disastrous second season with a sub 700 OPS. And then you got Brandon Lowe, nice player for Tampa Bay, 24. But again, not super exciting, not a big power guy. Now, baseball's unpredictable. There's other players, rookies in this set, including these guys, who could very well emerge as superstars. But as it stands, though these are some nice ball players, there is not much industry love for their rookie cards because the industry loves very specific things. They love home runs, they love the big awards like MVPs, and they love players, young players especially, who look like they're on Hall of Fame paths. None of these guys, these 5 guys' rookie cards, ungraded, would sell for more than $1 or even $1, and none of them are worth spending money to grade. Now, important point about sets in 2019. Sets are only really worth what the 3 or 4 or 5 best cards in that set combined are worth. It's a little bit different maybe from back when we were collecting in the 90s. So when you got a set like this, where the best 5 cards are worth $4 or $5 combined, it's not worth spending $95 on a hobby box, not even close. Much better idea would just be to pick up a bunch of these guys' rookies, if you like any of these guys, like maybe Kyle Tucker or Kopech, pick up 10 or 15 of their rookies on the cheap, get a few of their parallels on the cheap, stockpile them, and wait and see how they do. Do that for 15, 20, 30, 40 bucks, and save yourself from buying a hobby box where the best you're going to do is get one of each of these guys and a bunch of base that you can do nothing with. Now let's just do a little comparison here to Topps Series 2 from this year. Take a look at these names. These are the Big Daddy rookie cards. You got Tatis Jr., Pete Alonso, going to be the Rookie of the Year. Tatis probably would have been the Rookie of the Year had he didn't get injured. Maybe not. You got Eloy Jimenez, probably the runner-up Rookie of the Year in the AL. Kevin Newman had a solid season. And there's a short print Vlad Jr. rookie card in this. These are some special rookie cards. I don't need to tell you who these guys are. I don't need to tell you that their rookie cards are actually worth something, but I will. I've listed their rough kind of price. There's always a range. Rough PSA 10 value right now for their cards beside them. So Tatis is selling for roughly 50, Alonso roughly 75, Eloy roughly 30, Vlad roughly 120. Newman's not really worth much yet. So, unlike Series 1 from this year, this set has significant baseline value from just these base rookie cards alone. So what is my approach then with the checklist is king boxes? Well, I kind of have a very simplified formula that enables me to decide which ones I'm going to invest in. I calculate the expected value of the best 3 to 5 PSA 10 rookie cards in the set. I subtract the cost to grade those cards, and I subtract the cost of the box. If this all totals more than 0, I'm all in, okay? And I know that not all cards are going to grade out as PSA 10s, not even close. But I also know that today's print runs are very high quality. Centering is much less of an issue than it used to be. If you handle your cards well, you open them, you sleeve them, you card saver them, and if you're sticking to non-retail products that haven't been handled by 100 other people, your odds are pretty good of getting a PSA 10. Add in the fact that these boxes provide significant value in other ways. I mean, there's the possibility you're going to hit a parallel version of one of those awesome rookie cards, or one of their autos. And I think that with that additional value that's out there, on average, that offsets the fact that not all of your base rookies will grade out as a 10. So in sum, I think it's reasonable to use the PSA 10 value of the best rookie cards as proxy for the baseline value of the box. So let's hit the math. We know that Series 1 is a dud. I'm not even going to go there. But let's see if Series 2 is worth investing in. So, as mentioned, I was able to pick up a hobby box. Actually, I picked up like 14 of them, but $79 on sale, taxes in, shipping in, okay? What's a hobby box got inside? 336 cards per box. You strip out all the inserts, and you're probably going to be left with about 285 base cards per box. It's a 350 card set, so if you do the quick math there, 285 divided by 350, there's about an 80% chance of getting each specific base card from the set per box. So that means there's an 80% chance you're going to get that Tatis in each hobby box, 80% chance you're going to get that Alonso, 80% chance you're going to get that Eloy, etc., etc. You might get none of them. You might get dupes of all of them. But on average, this is what you should get per box. So let's calculate the expected value of our PSA 10 rookies in this set. We know Tatis is worth 50. We know we got an 80% chance of getting this card. So I would say there's an expected value of $40 worth of Tatis in that box based on this kind of concept. Alonso, same deal, $60 in this box. Eloy, same deal, $24 in that box. Total that up, and your total expected PSA 10 value of these cards, if they're mint, is $124 per box. Strip out the $40 roughly to grade them, strip out the box cost of $79, and you're left with a positive number of $5. So for me, that means there's more than enough baseline value just from these 3 base rookie cards alone to justify investing in these boxes. Because you got to remember now, there's roughly 7% chance per box of getting a valuable parallel form of one of these rookies. You could get a gold, a rainbow foil, 150th edition, or an even rarer parallel version. And to give you an idea, the Alonso ungraded gold is around $100 right now. PSA 10 gold for Alonso is about $200. So you got a 7% chance of getting one of those. That's good enough for me. That's not zero. You hit one of those and you're laughing. Now throw in the fact that there's about an 8% chance per hobby box of hitting a Vlad Jr. SP. Well, that's worth about $120. So you might pull one of those. We haven't even factored in the Kevin Newman rookie, which could be worth something if he puts up another big year like he did this year. And we haven't even thought of the fact that one of these guys' autos might pop up. So there is tons of value in this box, more than enough to justify opening it and investing in it. Because who knows? And here's where the fun is. You might open one, and you might get a bunch of duplicates of these rookies, plus one of their parallels, plus a Vlad SP. And then you're making serious bank. And that's what it's all about, is just opening one of these bad boys up and just it making your day. But if you just get what you should get, you're not going to go broke. So this is the safest, highest floor method to use for ripping flagship boxes, in my opinion. We compared Series 2 to Series 1 from this year, and as we saw, there is no difference. There is no comparison. None of the rookies in Series 1 are even worth grading yet, so the value from that box is basically $4 or $5. Totally different story to Series 2. So with this simple approach, I think we can identify which sets and boxes we should be feeling very safe and confident in to at least return some value close to what you spent on the box. And from that perspective, essentially provides you with a free shot at some big hits. All right, let's summarize. So, casino boxes, highest risk boxes we can get. We're talking about Bowman Chrome and Bowman Draft, HTAs, Jumbos, and Super Jumbos. High risk because almost all the value in these products is tied up in the few individual Bowman Chrome first autos and parallels of the good young prospects. You could get none of them easily in one of these super pricey boxes and be left with basically no value in your hands. With that said, the reward potential from these boxes is essentially unparalleled. Just go look at what a Juan Soto Bowman Chrome First auto is selling for these days. Just the base auto PSA 10 is like $2,400. Those are the cards that come out of these products. Now, we talked about buying pre-sale in order to get the best prices. We talked about the fact that the checklist for these releases really doesn't mean much initially because the prospects have very far to go before we know what they're worth. We've talked about the fact that sealed boxes for these premium releases tend to appreciate quite predictably and are usually a good investment strategy. And finally, we talked about the fact that if you're going to open these products, you either want to sell them the cards right away when the release occurs, or be prepared to wait, maybe a couple years. My approach to casino boxes, I like to buy 10 to 12 of each of these boxes pre-sale. So Bowman Chrome, I'll buy 10 to 12 hobbies pre-sale. Bowman Draft, more like 10. I'm going to try to sell the majority of these boxes over the next couple of years, sealed. And I'm going to use the profits from that to subsidize the cost of the 2 or 3 boxes of each release that I keep for myself to open. In my mind, this allows me to enjoy ripping a bunch of premium boxes each year with a bit lower risk because the cost of the boxes I open is subsidized by profits from other sold boxes. Transitioning back to Checklist is King boxes for Flagship Topps Series 1, 2, and Update. Remember, Checklist is king, and the base rookies is where the value in these boxes exist. There's no need to buy these things pre-sale, especially Series 1 and 2, because they often go on sale a few months after their release. Update, as mentioned, because of its shorter print run, usually the best prices on a hobby or jumbo box are going to be found pre-sale. So if you want to stick to hobbies and jumbos and avoid the retail products, you might want to buy Update pre-sale, but you don't have to. You can find cheap Update on sale at Walmart down the road. When it comes to these products, you want to choose the boxes, the sets that have clear base rookie card value, use the formula that I showed you, and then rip away guilt-free into these products. Remember, for sets with base rookies that are not very valuable right now, like Topps Series 1, 2019, just buy individual lots of the rookie cards that you think could be worth something and wait for them to appreciate. My approach to these products is basically what I've just told you. For Series 1 and 2, I wait, I review the checklists, and once I identify a hot checklist like 2019 Topps Series 2, I buy a bunch of those boxes on sale as soon as I can, usually a month or 2 after the release. I'm going to sell the majority of those boxes over time, and I'm going to open a handful of them for fun. For the sets with poor checklists, I just buy a bunch of the rookie cards for the 1 or 2 players I think have potential. So for Series 1 this year, maybe Kyle Tucker, maybe Michael Kopech, and I'm going to skip the rest of the set altogether. For Topps Update, it's a bit more similar to what I do for Bowman Chrome, Bowman Draft, and that's because of the demand for these things pre-sale. I do tend to buy the boxes pre-sale in order to get the best price. I don't really like retail products, so I'm not going to wait for those to go on sale because of the card condition issues. So Update is usually pretty well stocked with important rookies, and when I do a video soon where I rip 2018 blasters, I'll go through this. I'll show you over the years, the last 5-10 years, how stacked these checklists typically are, from Mike Trout rookie to Mookie Betts to Jake DeGrom, all the way down to Ronald Acuna and Juan Soto. So because it's usually a very hot checklist with a short print run, buying into Update boxes pre-sale is the move to make. You don't have to see the checklist first, and I treat them just like I do the casino boxes above. I'll sell the majority of the boxes sealed over a few years and use the proceeds to help fund the 2 or 3 or 4 boxes that I open for myself. All right, that is it for today. I hope you have enjoyed seeing my approach to how I choose sets and boxes to invest in and how I think is the best way to make some profits off them along the way. Please join me for my next video when we will put all this work to use and rip into a 2019 Topps Series 2 hobby box. Thank you for watching and allowing me to help you build a PC for your big 3.